Welcome everyone to the ACE Mentor Program of the State of Washington to our annual scholarship event and our Industry Leaders Reception. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am John Magnuson. I'm a past president of ACE of Washington, and I will be your low-key MC tonight. For those of you that registered before 4 o'clock, you should have already gotten a PDF with tonight's program. And if you registered after 4 o'clock, you'll get it later. But in either case, you don't need to take any notes. Please just sit back and enjoy our program. Our ACE program here is one of 77 affiliates around the country. Since 2001, we have worked with over 3,000 students in the Puget Sound area. And including tonight, we've awarded more than $860,000 in college scholarships. Many of our ACE students, after completing college, have made the full cycle and are now working at firms in the area and are also now mentoring for ACE. The executive board of the executive committee of the board of directors provides year-round leadership for the program. President Rob Widmeyer has been providing incredible leadership as our president for the last 5 years. Pete, who you meet in just a moment, has been a tireless leader in recruiting and organizing our mentors. And Sarah has the responsibility for the other part of our program, the really important part, recruiting the students. As you will see tonight, she has been doing a great job. Now, Bill, he's a CPA, and his job is to keep us solvent. Very important. Angela is our executive director, and she's really the person that keeps us all moving in the right direction. So much of the program, Angela, I'm looking at your picture right there. Thank you, thank you. So a big thank you to the entire executive committee. Now, the remaining members of the board of directors represent lots of different organizations in our area. They set the vision for our local ACE program. You can see them all right there. I'm not going to read all their names. Thank you so much for your service. Now, the program is provided free to every student, but it does require both volunteers and money. We have estimated the cost of putting on the program every year at about $1 million per year. But 85% of that is actually donated time by our incredible mentors. The next biggest item is the funding of scholarships, and that actually requires cash. So every year we hold our Building Futures Together campaign. This year we have 3 platinum sponsors giving at the $10,000 level. As part of their sponsorship, they were each invited to submit a short video to be played today. Thank you to our first platinum sponsor, Magnuson Clemensic Associates.
Hello, this is Andy Fry from Magnuson Clemensic Associates. It has been our pleasure to support the great organization of ACE since its beginning in Seattle nearly 20 years ago. Speaking as someone who went to college thinking that I wanted to be a rocket scientist, only to luckily discover that structural engineering was actually a lot more fun, MKA is thrilled to partner with ACE to open the eyes of high school students to the professional opportunities that exist in architecture, engineering, and construction fields. Thanks to the 7 mentors this year from our staff and the over 100 mentors in total from MKA, the ACE organization offers our team the chance to inspire the next generation to follow in our footsteps. Congratulations to the over 200 student participants and the 14 scholarship winners on a great year. We hope that you have a wonderful summer and a safe and healthy start to the 2020-2021 school year.
And thank you to our second platinum sponsor, Hoffman Construction Company. And a thank you to our third platinum sponsor, Cornerstone General Contractors.
Hi, my name is Max Anderson. I'm the senior estimator at Cornerstone General Contractors. Cornerstone is a mid-sized commercial contractor based out of Bothell, Washington, and we focus on K-12 construction projects. My first introduction to Cornerstone was through a summer internship program while I was earning my degree at the University of Washington. Before I knew anything about Cornerstone or what I wanted to focus on in college, I had a very limited understanding and overall awareness of commercial construction as a whole. It wasn't until I toured my first large-scale commercial construction project that really piqued my interest in construction. Over the course of my career, I was inspired to develop an internship program at Cornerstone that focused on the development of students planning a career in construction, with a heavy emphasis on mentorship and training. Cornerstone and ACE share a lot of core values in that regard, so in addition to becoming ACE sponsors, we're also very excited to give back and invest in other students that share the same excitement towards the fields of architecture, construction, and engineering.
Thank you. So we also have 7 gold sponsors that you see right here. I'm not going to read them all, but they have given at the $5,000 level. So the platinum sponsors and the gold sponsors, because of the level of giving, they each will have you'll see their names later because each has a named scholarship. They funded a named scholarship, which will be presented to the students in a few minutes. So we also have 14 silver sponsors, each giving at the $2,500 level. Once again, I'm not going to read them, but they're an important part of the support of the ACE Mentor program. And then we have 14 bronze sponsors, each giving at the $1,000 level. Once again, all of this adds up to allow this program to be given free to every high school student that wants to participate. And we have 3 iron sponsors this year, giving at the $500 level. We'd also like to recognize a group of mentors and students that together competed in the CERT ACE National Design Competition, competing against teams from around the country. Our team placed as second runner-up in their category and thereby earned our affiliate a $500 prize, which has been placed in the ACE Mentor Program of Washington Scholarship Fund. It was only really through their efforts that this donation to the scholarship fund was possible. So thank you, mentors and students there. We'd also like to thank our 2 partnering organizations this year, which contribute both to the scholarship fund and for other ACE programming needs. And lastly, we'd like to give a special thanks to several local schools and firms that provided venues for ACE events earlier in the year. We look forward to being able to gather again in groups next year. Hopefully we'll be back in groups in various venues. And one more thank you to all of these firms for their support of the ACE Mentor program. Many of these firms that are sponsors tonight have been with us since day number 1 of the program back in 2001. They've been providing funds and mentors, staffing power, so that we can have smooth recruitment and presentation events. We are really so grateful to these firms that give to ACE. Thank you very much. Now, speaking of those mentors, another thing that we like to do during this event, our annual event, is to recognize the mentors who give so much to ACE. It's not possible without them. Especially under the difficulty of this past year. It was a very unusual year with the conversion to distance mentoring. So I'd like to pass the mic over to Pete, and he will introduce our mentors.
Good evening, everybody. Again, my name is Pete Meslenikov. I'm a vice president on the board of directors. I'm in charge of mentor liaisons and training. Before we get into thanking our mentors, I would like to do a little bit of a recap of the year for everybody because it was a very unusual year, to say the least. Although it was unusual and with many challenges, the group of teams that went through this year actually succeeded and overcame those challenges. This year we had 220 students from 64 area schools complete the program. These students were placed on 11 different teams centered in Seattle, Bellevue, and the South Sound. Our affiliate ranks second highest in the nation in the number of high schools that get involved in our program, which I think is great considering that we're only second to New York City. So places like Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, which have much higher populations than we do, we reach more students than they do, which is, I think, pretty impressive. And it's a tribute to the people who make the program work, which is all of you mentors out there. Our 11 teams were made up of 185 professionals from different firms. There were 65 firms that all were part of the program from different architecture, engineering, and construction companies. Each team consisted of roughly 10 to 15 mentors and 10 to 30 students. They met every other week from November to May and responded to a mock RFP they designed together. And at the end, of course, they presented their projects. Now, this is an example of what a virtual meeting looked like after our teams had to overcome the obstacle of the pandemic. They were thrown this challenge in the middle of the year, and I gotta say they had to make a quick transition and finish the year strong, which they all did. Now, at the end of the year, these teams a couple of weeks ago presented their projects to their peers and their mentors and their families, and each team recorded their projects and gave those presentations, and I was happy to attend a couple of those. So what I'd like to do now is to thank our mentors. You mentors out there are the real engine that drives the program of ACE, and that really makes a huge difference in the lives of these students. I can't say enough on how much this allows our students to get off on their career on the right foot. And it's all because of you mentors that are out there volunteering every week, a lot of your time. So with that, we'd like to introduce everybody to the team of mentors that volunteered their times, and especially highlight a couple of key members of the teams who led our teams and put in many more hours than the other mentors in just organizing the meetings and making sure that the students had all of their forms filled out, making sure that the meeting places were equipped with the meals for the students, like pizza, all this until, of course, the pandemic hit. And then our leaders had to figure out how to make that work. So with that, I want to thank all of you. So first up, I want to spotlight a couple of our South Sound teams. The first team I want to look at met on Tuesdays down in Fife, and it was led by Bethany Brown. She's been with the program for 4 years, ever since the program started in the South Sound in Tacoma and Fife, and has just started leading a team recently. And I got to say that, Beth, you bring a real energy to your team, and you're starting to become one of the up and coming rising leaders within the ACE program. And for that, I thank you. This team met at BCE Engineers, that is until the pandemic hit and changed everything. So the Fife team responded to an RFP for a new light rail facility down in Fife. They were challenged in that only half of the students were able to complete the year because of the challenge of getting access to computer equipment for online meetings. But the team that remained finished the year strong. And as you can see with this presentation here, they developed a really nice design in the end. Our other South Sound team was on Wednesday nights and was led by Kathy Owens of Nature by Design, a landscape architecture firm. Kathy has, again, been with the program for 4 years as well. And she really brings an unstoppable force with energy to the program and has become a real leader in the South Sound area. And I really thank you, Kathy, for your partnership with an ACE. We also like to thank PCS Structural Solutions, who donated their space to host the meetings, again, until the pandemic hit and we had to meet online. The Wednesday Tacoma team also designed a light rail facility, this time in Tacoma. Their 72,000 square foot structure aims to achieve the LEED certification. I think it was LEED Platinum certification, if I'm not mistaken. And it was estimated at a $47 million construction budget. Next, I'd like to highlight our two Eastside teams that meet over in Bellevue. The first of which is led by Adrian Ho and meets on Tuesday nights. Adrian's with Freiheit Architects, and he's been leading one of our teams now for 4 years. I really enjoy watching Adrian work. He has a way of creating enthusiasm within his team and really exciting the kids to want to learn. Adrian's team responded to an RFP for a culinary art institute at the Seattle waterfront. The $37 million project was barely over budget, but it included all the necessary programming, such as instructional kitchens, conference rooms, TV studios, and dining spaces. I got a chance to watch this presentation. I was really impressed with it. The other team that meets on the East Side meets on Wednesdays and is led by Steve Larson and Mark Kinsman of Mortensen. The two of them have been leading teams for the last 5 years, and at this point, I would say they have a well-oiled machine. They really know how to organize their group well and run it to perfection. This team also designed a culinary institute that, which I found really interesting at the presentation. It's a little unorthodox because the building is shaped like a fish or an orca, which presents challenges when it comes to design. So I really gave them kudos for taking on such a challenging design feature. The architecture of this building was similar to Mopop or the library downtown. I'd love to see something like this built on the waterfront in the near future. We invited Steve to give us a recap of the year with a short little video that we'll play now.
I'm Steve Larson from Wednesday Eastside. I knew we were going to have an interesting year when our students voted to design a fish-shaped building on the Seattle waterfront. Then when COVID changed everything, our students voted to double down and meet every week instead of every other week in order to finish our project. And our awesome mentors hung right in there with them. I hope that we taught these young men and women lots of good things about the construction, architectural, and engineering as careers. However, I do know we all learned a lot together about hope, resilience, and collaboration. It turned out to be an awesome year.
Thank you, Steve. I would mirror that thought that it was an awesome year. These type of events bring us all together and bring us closer. Next, I'd like to spotlight our 7 Seattle groups. The first of which met on Mondays and was led by Marissa Gelms and Ishani Singhal from Magnuson Klemenczyk Associates. Marissa and Ishani are new team leaders this year, which we're so grateful to have. And they follow a long tradition of Magnuson Klemenczyk teams led by Magnuson Klemenczyk. Their mixed-use office building that they designed on the marketplace was a project that was fairly interesting. They had a design feature that they called a sedimentary extrapolation, which took its inspiration from the rice paddies, creating kind of an organic, tiered urban park that transitioned smoothly from the city into nature, as you see here. We had 3 teams that met on Tuesday nights, the first of which was led by Kayla Verbitsky and PJ Benedetti of GGLO. This was GGLO's 2nd year leading a team, and I love the energy and enthusiasm they bring to their groups. It really shows that when the students' faces light up, just how much they appreciate being in your group and on your team. Their design this year was a performance hall on the waterfront. I think you're seeing a theme here of projects on the waterfront. They used the shape of a clamshell and an ocean wave as an architectural feature of the project. With an estimated cost of $28 million, I could actually see this project being built sometime soon. The next team that met on Tuesdays was led by Eric Loftus of KPFF. Eric has been with ACE for a number of years now, and has really developed into one of the more respected team leaders. And Eric, I thank you for your participation and leadership within the program. This year, his team created a performing arts venue as well that welcomes its visitors from Pike Place Market with a sky bridge, amphitheater, and internal market. Visitors will notice a striking curved glass feature at the front of the main entrance, drawing them into the building. I gotta say, nice work, guys. I think this is a really good design. Next, we have the last team that met on the Tuesdays was a team led by Kyle Kaiser of LMN Architects and John Robinson of Skanska. The LMN Skanska duo has been co-leading teams for the last 4 years now. And like many of the previous leaders that you've heard, they've really got their program dialed in at this point. Like John had mentioned earlier, this team participated in the National CERT Design Competition and placed second runner-up in their category, which was a water resource management challenge. The team submitted their design for the Ballard Locks, which was very impressive. The Skanska mentors arranged a virtual site tour after the team meetings went virtual, which was a big hit. We invited Kyle to say a couple of words about this year as well. Take it away, Kyle.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kyle Kaiser. I'm an architect at LMN Architects and team leader of Tuesday Team 1, along with John Robinson of Skanska. What to say about this year? This has certainly been a unique year. We had a lot of firsts this year. Of course, because of COVID, we went virtual for the first time. But more importantly for this year, this was the first time a full ACE team contributed solely to the Construction Industry Roundtable Design Competition. We've had several teams in the past and occasionally been recognized, but this year was the first time that we took on the challenge of having an entire ACE team do it as part of their ACE project. It worked really well. We had 3 entries in the water resource management category, and one of those teams was actually nationally recognized in their category as the second runner-up. Max Pleskoff, a scholarship recipient that will be announced tonight, was actually part of that team. I've been really proud of how the students worked this year and just overwhelmed with the amount of enthusiasm they still brought to the table even when we were only working virtually. It's always a blast being a mentor for ACE, and it's always cool to try out new things with these students and just see how they're resilient to those changes and the flexibility. So we've been really proud of the year, and we just thank everybody for their support. Congratulations, Max, and to all the other scholarship winners. We're here to celebrate you tonight and the great things that you're going to do for our industry in the future. So good luck in college and over the next few years. Can't wait to have you as a mentor and ACE later. Bye-bye.
As you can see, the duo of Kyle and John really go above and beyond when it comes to leading their teams. We also had a team that met on Thursday nights, led by Amber Fulgham and Sebastian Hernandez of Gensler. We've got it on good authority that Gensler is involved all over the country with ACE. We're excited to have them participate locally here in our affiliate. Amber and Sebastian have done such a great job exciting their students in the ACE program and leading their team this year on Thursdays. This team started off the year with some great icebreakers and then settled into a design of a mixed-use office building and marketplace with a specific purpose of tying the previously neglected waterfront into the Pike Place Market. I can see this design again being a major draw to the waterfront area. Our first Wednesday team was led by Casey Risky of Miller Hall, who holds the record in Seattle of the longest running mentor. He's been involved with the program for over a dozen years now and is now officially a member of the board of directors. Thank you for your many years of hard work, Casey. And I think we got the years wrong. I think the years we have on this slide are represented only of the record that we currently have. So Casey's involvement goes beyond our record keeping within ACE. His team this year designed a manta ray shaped project, which was a 30,000 square foot mixed use project with a theater, marketplace, museum, and restaurant, and a green roof that connected to the Pike Place Market and waterfront. They designed it to be LEED Platinum and meet all the requirements within. Nice job, guys. And then last but not least, Dan Schwab of Methuen led another team that met on Wednesday nights. Dan is one of those mentor leaders who every year brings his A game, and we can always count on him to support the program. I really thank you, Dan, for your partnership in the program with us. His team designed a wave-like performance hall in the Seattle waterfront. Now, we also asked Dan to say a few words about this unique year as well, which we share with you now.
Hi, all. This is Dan Schwab. I am the team leader for Wednesday Team 2. I work for Methuen. I'm an architect. I've been involved with ACE for the last 8 years and team leader for 6 of those years. Clearly this has been a year unlike any other. And, the first half of the year started out great. Pretty normal, and then of course the pandemic happened and we had to revert to online Zoom classes, which in this environment is pretty tough, but our kids stuck around. They did great. We had to modify our expectations of what the final presentation might look like. We had to change the type of work we gave them and gave little mini assignments that they could do weekly. We changed our meeting schedule from every 2 weeks for 2 hours to every week for 1 hour, just so we could be real focused and keep their attention. I'd say the most challenging thing of the whole year was just getting the kids to turn their Zoom cameras on so we could see them. Otherwise, they're just looking at black boxes. But they finally came around and did it. So anyway, it was a great year and one that I'll remember. Bye.
As you can see, despite the odds, all these teams finished strong and really made a difference in the students' lives. I'd like to, again, thank all you mentors out there for participating in the program. You really do such an incredible job. You are the driving force behind our program. You are the ones that are out there making connections with the students and paving the way for the students' careers in the future. So I do thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And now on to the main event. I'd like to pass the virtual mic over to Sarah Roberts of KPFF. Sarah is our ACE Scholarship Committee lead. Take it away, Sarah.
All right, well, okay, and welcome to the fun part, and this is the giving out of the money. I'm Sarah Roberts, and I've been heading the Scholarship Committee for almost 5 years, and one of the many things I have come to appreciate is how hard these students work in life, in school, and in ACE, and it's an honor to be able to do this. I'd like to briefly recognize the Scholarship Committee and say thank you to these individuals who carefully go through each application, each essay, each recommendation letter, so we can thoughtfully evaluate the candidates and decide which seniors will receive awards. This year there were 6 of us, and years past there have been 8 or 9, and 6 people were still able to find time in this busy time, different time, and set aside the necessary energy to go through these applications. Thank you to these people. It is a fun and a hard task. This committee has members from all 3 branches of ACE, from architecture, from construction, and from engineering. It's important to us that all are represented. So on to the scholarship recipients. This year we had 38 applicants, which is a record. There are 14 students receiving an award tonight. And I honestly wish that we could have given an award to every single applicant because all worked so hard and all were deserving. But on to our first student, and that is Lily Nordic, who graduated last week from Inglemoor High School. Like all the students you will see tonight, she was involved with many activities, some of which being soccer, crew, and the leadership club at Inglemoor. But in addition to her through-the-roof GPA, her mentor describes her as a student who listens and communicates well, goes out of her way to learn about the task at hand, and maybe more importantly, the why behind the task at hand. Lily is receiving a $5,000 award tonight from ACE. She will be studying mechanical engineering at the University of Washington this fall, And one different thing about tonight's event this year in our virtual world is we get to hear from the student in a different way. So let's hear what Lily has to say.
Hi everyone, my name is Lily Nordyke. I graduated from the IB program at Inglemoor High School. Thank you so much to the sponsors for this scholarship opportunity. Hi.
Our second student tonight is Chloe Duttry from Peninsula High School. Chloe was actually recognized at this event last year as a junior because she was elected to attend the ACE summer camp in Denver, which is no easy feat. And Chloe showed her can-do attitude by taking on more work this year within her team when some students were unable to participate in the virtual world. One fun fact that I learned about Chloe is that she appears to have been recently certified as a flagger and a forklift operator. Chloe is receiving a $5,000 ACE scholarship tonight and will be studying architecture at Washington State University.
Hi, I'm Chloe Duttry. First of all, I would like to thank all mentors and sponsors for their involvement in helping young adults like myself achieve their goals. Second, I would like to thank my mentors, Kathy Owens and Ari Lekowitz, for helping me in the past 2 years. I will be going to Washington State University for architecture, and I plan to one day mentor students in this program.
Our third student tonight is Max Pleskoff from Roosevelt High School. He's been with ACE for 3 years, which is quite impressive. As you heard earlier, he participated in the CERT design team competition, which was second runner-up in their category, also quite impressive. Max is receiving a $5,000 total award tonight, which is $2,500 from Element Architects and $2,500 from ACE. He plans to study architecture at Washington State University also.
Hi, my name is Max Pleskoff. I just graduated from Roosevelt High School in Seattle, Washington, and I'll be going to Washington State University next year to study architecture. I've wanted to be an architect for as long as I can remember. Here's actually something I wrote when I was 11 saying that I wanted to be an architect. ACES not only amplified my desires to go into architecture, but also allowed me some really cool opportunities to look at other things like engineering and technology. And I want to say a huge thank you to all my mentors, and a special shout out to Casey Risk, Noah Yates, Jordan Barrett, Jeremy Hasselbauer, Tom Gooding, Owen Byrne, and Laura Lindemann. Many of them work at companies which sponsored this scholarship, and they've created an incredible idea of what it would mean and be like to work at each of the sponsor companies. This scholarship is an affirmation that I can continue studying something that I'm so passionate about. And I want to say, again, a huge thank you to the ACE mentors, my peers, and my parents who have helped me. And lastly, and certainly not least, thank you so much to the sponsors for allowing this to happen.
Eric Riley is our fourth student tonight. He is from Kent Lake High School. Like all the students, he was very busy with extracurricular activities, some being swimming and soccer. He was a member of the small but mighty team in Fife and has shown himself to be creative, highly motivated, and a leader within his ACE group. Tonight, Eric is receiving $7,000 from ACE and plans to study mechanical engineering at Montana State University.
Hi, I'm Eric Riley, and I just wanted to thank everybody for the honor of receiving this scholarship. It really means a lot to me, and it's going to help out a lot in college. I was born in Bellevue, Washington, and I live in Covington. I go to Kent Lake High School, and engineering and mechanical engineering is what I plan to major in at Montana State University in the fall. My brother and my dad are both mechanical engineers. My brother's going to graduate next year, so I guess soon to be a mechanical engineer, but it seems to run in the family, and I think that might be where I got some of the influence from, and that's why I like it so much. The highlight of my ACE career has probably been meeting and networking with all the different mentors and as well as different students, just learning how people think and the diverse ideas that all coincide within the different related fields. What made me mostly choose to study mechanical engineering, one of the ACE fields, was probably influence from my parents, as well as I work on a wheat farm during the summer, and just the ideas that go into running some of the machinery and how all the equipment is built and works together and all the parts seems very fascinating to me, and I really enjoy learning how everything works together to form, well, all the nice items and things we have today in this world. The scholarship really means a lot to me. It's going to allow me to spend more time on school and immerse myself in the Bozeman culture, as well as, essentially it'll allow me to graduate with hopefully a higher GPA and be able to do more and accomplish more in my 4 years than I would if I was per se working a job. I'd really like to thank the sponsors. This opportunity is amazing, and the scholarship is really going to help me out in my school experience and my school work. So thank you very much.
Olivia Reichert from Garfield High School is the 5th student receiving an award tonight. One of the many striking things about Olivia is her global awareness. She was part of a cultural immersion program in Guatemala, and she's been a leader and a major leader in a program called Post 84 within her high school, which works to create a safe space for students of color in the outdoors and the camping world, which has historically been a white dominant environment. We are really honored to present Olivia with a $7,000 award tonight. That's $2,500 from Selling Construction and $4,500 from ACE. Olivia plans to study architecture at Cal Poly this fall.
Hi everyone, my name is Olivia Reichert and I'm a graduate of Garfield High School. I will be attending Cal Poly SLO in the fall as an architecture major. I'm incredibly grateful for this scholarship and I'm so excited for my future career as an architect. With the skills and support that ACE has given me, I was able to fully realize my future in design, and for that I'm so thankful. I'm so excited to use architecture to make a difference in society today, designing healthy, sustainable, and safe spaces for all. Thank you so much.
Our 6th student tonight is Julian Collins, and he's from Ingram High School. One of the many activities he does is to organize an online international Lego builder group where people of all ages collaborate on designs. He's won awards for his creations at international competitions where he competes with adults, and he's had to apply real-world concepts for some of his creations, one specifically being an almost 7-foot tower, which used braced frames for stability and modular construction so it could be transported. Julian is receiving a $7,000 award tonight, $5,000 from the American Council of Engineering Companies in Washington, or ACEC, and $2,000 from ACE. He plans to study civil engineering, hopefully structural engineering, at the University of Washington this fall.
My name is Julian Collins and I just graduated from Ingram High School. I'm very thankful for this amazing scholarship opportunity, as well as these past 2 years with the ACE program, which have allowed me to narrow down what I'd like to study in college, as well as give me some ideas for possible careers in the future. Because of this, I've decided to pursue a civil engineering major in college and hopefully get a job as a structural engineer down the line. I'd like to thank the sponsors, as well as my ACE mentors and leads for teaching me about the various construction disciplines and help inform my decision on what I would like to do in the future.
Camille Lyles is our 7th student tonight. She's graduating from Mount Si High School, and in addition to participating in sports like volleyball and tennis, she has maintained an impressive academic record while working part-time for the last few years of high school. She also attended an engineering camp at Cal Poly for 2 years, which we didn't even know that they had. Camille is receiving a $7,000 total award tonight. That's $2,500 from Callison RTKL and $4,500 from ACE. Congratulations to Camille. She plans to study architecture at Virginia Tech.
Hi, I'm Camille Lyles. A little bit about my personal history. I grew up in Tacoma and we moved around a little bit until I finally came to live in Snoqualmie, which is where I've been living for the past 10 years. I graduated this year from Mount Si High School, and my interest in architecture started when I was, I think, in like 6th grade. I really liked horses, and so I would draw up barn like floor plans and how I wanted like my farm to be laid out, and that eventually transitioned into drawing my dream house and the dream houses of friends at lunch. And that kind of solidified for me that like architecture was my future. The highlight of my ACE experience was meeting with like-minded high schoolers and just being able to see us progress week after week and to come together to make these really amazing projects. I'm so thankful for the scholarship, which will allow me to invest in my future, as well as make sure that I go to college, which without the scholarship I might not be able to do. One thing I am most excited about in my career is being able to create structures that fuel people and fuel their creativity and their spirit and protect them and things like that. Okay. Finally, to my ACE mentor, Adrian, who sponsored me, I am so very thankful for everything you've done for me to help me down this career path and sort of guide me these last few years. I really appreciate it. So thank you.
Adam Scott from Roosevelt High School is our 8th recipient tonight. He participated in ACE in Austin, Texas, before moving to Seattle and jumping right into the ACE program here. And also, upon moving to Seattle, he jumped into activities like debate and community service, and the list goes on. Adam is receiving a $7,000 total award tonight. That's $2,500 from ARIP and $4,500 from ACE. He plans to study structural engineering at the University of Washington and look for ways to help underserved communities.
I'm Adam Scott. I will be graduating from Roosevelt High School and will be pursuing a civil engineering degree at the University of Washington. I first attended ACE in Austin in my sophomore year, and I was interested in engineering, but I didn't know where or how I wanted to apply myself until ACE. ACE got me interested in structural engineering, and then when I moved to Seattle, I was able to pursue it in a more specialized form in the structural engineering team. And I'm really grateful having such a wonderful, welcoming group of engineers and feeling so at home in Seattle. So I wanted to thank ACE for such a wonderful experience and thank you for this scholarship.
Dylan Way from Skyline High School is our 9th recipient tonight. His essays were so thoughtful, folding in his global awareness, our need to give to underserved communities, and our responsibility in this industry to reduce our footprint on this planet. It was also fun to learn that Dylan participated in the ASCE Popsicle Stick Bridge competition, one of his many activities outside of ACE. Dylan is receiving a $7,000 award tonight. That's $2,500 from Gensler and $4,500 from ACE. He plans to study architecture at Washington University in St. Louis, which is not a school we often see, by the way.
Hi, my name is Dylan, and I'm from Skyline High School, and I'm very grateful to be one of the recipients of the 2020 ACE Scholarship here in Washington. I was actually born around here. However, after 2nd grade, my family decided to move to China. We lived in both Shanghai and Guangzhou, 2 mega cities there, and after 7th grade, we all decided to move back here, so that's why I'm here now. For my junior year of ACE, I was with Mortensen in Bellevue. However, over the summer, I did an open studio with Miller Hall in Seattle, and that's really where I got to know some of the mentors and the company better. And for my senior year, I decided to go all the way back to Seattle and have my senior year of ACE with them. As for the future, I'm really just excited for architecture in college, you know, working in a studio environment, being able to constantly present and give feedback. I feel like I'll take out a unique set of skills for me from the college experience. And last of all, I'd like to say thank you to Casey, who's been an extraordinary team leader for us for Miller Hall, the team at Miller Hall this year, as well as Aaron, who's been the mentor with me at Miller Hall during the open studio during the summer before my senior year. And for the sponsors of the scholarship, it's just such a great feeling to know that there are people out there who are willing to sponsor and support my journey as an aspiring architect. Thank you.
Handrae Henthorn from Roosevelt High School is our 10th recipient tonight. She was actually selected from among a pool of nominated students to apply for a CMIC National ACE Scholarship Competition. And we learned recently she was selected as one of 23 students from all over the country to receive this award. What an honor for her and for our Seattle ACE group. In addition, those who interact with her through school, through a study abroad program in Russia, her numerous activities, and 3 years in ACE describe her as a motivated person and a motivator of others. Handrae is receiving a $7,000 award tonight. That's $5,000 from MKA and $2,000 from ACE. She plans to study structural engineering this fall and is beginning her studies at Seattle Pacific University.
Hello everyone, my name is Handrae Henthorn and I am now officially a high school graduate. Oh, high school has been amazing. I've learned so many things. I've accomplished so many things. I've learned new languages, received my AA in science, but one of the biggest things I've done is go to the ACE program, and it's made a humongous difference in my life. I want to say thank you to my ACE mentors, especially Casey, who has helped me so much and who has always believed in me and believed that I could do better. I want to say thank you to my parents for always believing I could be more than I am now and for pushing me to try new things. And thank you for my sister for being my biggest cheerleader of all. I started going to the ACE program during my sophomore year after my engineering teacher recommended that I go, and I never knew how much of a difference this would make in my life. I decided to learn structural engineering because I have a love for math and physics, but not only that, but I want to design buildings that will help people live safely and that are strong and reliable, and really I want to make a big difference in people's lives in this scholarship. If I could say anything to my sponsors, it would be thank you for making a dream come true, for giving me the opportunity to help people, and for also believing that I could make a difference. I know that because of this and because all that I've learned from all the people in my life, that I can make a difference for the future and help the people around me. Thank you.
The 11th student tonight receiving an award is Martin Shu from Eastlake High School. It's almost too hard to summarize all of the outstanding parts of Martin: academic, leadership, motivation, and his 3 years with ACE. One thing though that really stood out is his caring persona about his family, about his community, and this industry. Martin is receiving a $9,000 award tonight. That's $5,000 from Hoffman Construction and $4,000 from ACE. Martin plans to study architecture at Cal Poly this fall.
Hi, my name is Martin, and I'm graduating from Eastlake High School to study architecture at Cal Poly in the fall. Participating in the ACE Mentor Program has provided me with many hands-on opportunities to learn more about the ACE fields from industry professionals. I'm very thankful for my mentors, especially my head mentor, Adrian Ho at Freiheit Architecture, for going above and beyond in personal guidance and support throughout my journey. Ever since I was a small kid flipping through books with pictures of cool buildings, I've known I'd wanted to study architecture. I'm very grateful to the sponsors of the scholarship for helping me achieve this dream. To me, this scholarship represents an important investment in my career. It gives me the confidence to reach my goals of making a difference through architecture. I look forward to taking full advantage of the opportunities that an ACE scholarship brings. Thank you.
Jay Beeman from Liberty High School is our 12th student tonight, and he has also been with ACE for 3 whole years. Jay was also one of the students selected to attend the ACE summer camp last fall. His thoughtful essays really highlighted the interplay between the 3 parts of ACE and how his passion for architecture will help him be successful in engineering. He is receiving a $9,000 total award tonight. That's $2,500 from Mortensen and $6,500 from ACE. He plans to study mechanical engineering at Purdue.
My name is Jay Beeman. I graduated from Liberty High School this year, and I'll be attending Purdue University this fall. I'll be studying first-year engineering thanks to ACE, because throughout all my experiences in ACE, from attending the summer camp at Denver to interacting with all my great mentors, I've been made certain that I want to study engineering, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Hopefully mechanical engineering. The scholarship is just yet another step push in the right direction for me from ACE. So thank you so much for the money. Out-of-state tuition is very expensive, so it helps a lot. Thank you.
Our next to last student tonight is Marcel Ramirez. He's graduated from O'Day High School. He is the third of our students tonight who attended the ACE summer camp in Denver. But he is the first of our students tonight who has been with ACE all 4 years of high school. In addition to his full academic slate, his numerous activities, and his part-time work outside of school. Marcel's essays were deeply thoughtful, and the words used by those who know him to describe him, such as full of grit, full of determination, and compassion for others, came through loud and clear in his essays. Marcel is receiving a $9,000 total award tonight. That's $2,500 from Stantec and $6,500 from ACE. And congratulations to Marcel. He plans to study electrical engineering at the University of Washington this fall.
Hello ACE, I am Marcel Ramirez and I went to O'Day High School. The university I plan to go to next year is the University of Washington in Seattle, and I am majoring in engineering. As time brings me closer to crossing the bridge into university, I had to pick between majors I want to go for. From among the ACE fields, I chose engineering, and from the engineering department, I currently lean towards electrical engineering. I chose engineering because my interests aligned with this field, like in circuitry and computer programming. I also felt fit for it from my performance at school. In general, I also picked it for how essential it is in society. Electricity runs almost everywhere, from streetlights, cameras, cars, electric fans, and clocks. Even the device you're using right now to view this webinar needs electricity. Electricity is not known well to the public, and some may think it is magical. Although it is quite powerful with skill, there is a source of such power. What makes me excited about electrical engineering is the endless possibilities that go along with the field. Designing the engine workings of machines such as rocket ships, phones, and automated cars are examples that I want to work with. I personally would like to design a teleportation device in my house, so I do not have to sit in the anguishing Seattle traffic one day. My highlight from my ACE experience would be the field trips with no hesitation. Being able to go to buildings, both constructed or under construction, fascinated me a lot more than looking through a textbook. Observing the different elements and equipment that goes into a building brings thoughts of what I learned from regular ACE meetings and how they apply to the real world. I cannot thank enough to the sponsors who have funded my ACE award. College tuition with your help makes my effort for paying it less stressful and makes my finances more manageable. My family does not make a lot of money, so this scholarship takes a lot of weight off my back as I go off to the University of Washington. Go Huskies!
And last but certainly not least tonight is Madison Merwine from South Kitsap High School, who has also been with ACE all 4 years. Now, Madison started ACE as a freshman with the Eastside group, and she kept at it when she moved across the state to Port Orchard. You'll hear more about this in a minute, but when she was in early elementary school, her grandfather observed that architecture might be a good profession for her, and she'll tell you more about that. But I can tell you one thing, is she has never looked back. She clearly has worked hard in academics, her activities, and also working outside of school, and she has excelled at each step. We are honored to give Madison a $9,000 award tonight. That's $5,000 from Cornerstone General Contractors and $4,000 from ACE. Congratulations to Madison. She plans to study architecture at the University of Oregon.
Hi, I'm Madison Merwine, and I currently live in Port Orchard, Washington. I first became interested in architecture when I was about 8 years old. As a child, I used to always build little houses out of cardboard and shoeboxes and anything I can get my hands on, even printer paper for my toys, my little pet shops. And I remember my grandpa, he saw this and he said, "Oh, you would be a great architect." And I was 8 and I didn't know what this meant, but So I asked, what's an architect? And he explained it to me, and I got it in my head, yeah, I want to be an architect. I think that the highlight of my time in ACE was this past summer. ACE was able to send me to Falling Water. The Falling Water Institute has a week-long residency for high school students. So it was really, really amazing to be able to go to Falling Water and spend a week there studying not just Falling Water itself, but Frank Lloyd Wright, his design methods, organic architecture, and learning more about my own architectural style. And I was able to do this through ACE, and that was just really special for me. I think what I'm most excited about as an architect is exploring more the relationship between the built environment and the user experience. How design can influence how people experience everyday life.
All right,
This is something that's so fascinating to me, and I can't wait to work on large-scale projects where thousands of people may use this building every day, like airports and schools and train stations, and to cater to that experience and to combine art with logic and design. And that is something I'm so excited about as an architect. And I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to experience this through ACE.
Okay, well, wow. Those are just 14 of the students that we got to look at and meet and consider this year. And the rest were also fantastic and amazing. They are going to go forward and do incredible and impactful things in our industry in this world. Real briefly, on a serious note, as we all know, the past several months have been extremely difficult and unsettling. As the calendar turned into 2020 and the months ticked by, I wondered if we actually would give out scholarships this year. I wondered if everyone, the mentors and the students, would have to pause as we all adapted to the world around us. And I wondered if the firms involved would actually donate money this year as we all face an uncertain economic situation in front of us. I've been so deeply moved by all the mentors who stepped up, who adapted, and continued to give their time and more during these months. And I'm very humbled by these students' unwavering commitment to their future. What I've taken from this year is first a deep appreciation for the perseverance that we have all shown. And second, hope for the future as these students make their way into the world. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for showing up tonight, for giving your time, for supporting ACE, for supporting the students and supporting our community. These students are our future, and I am excited to see where they will take us.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for introducing us to these incredible students. They're absolutely amazing. And thank you, Pete, for introducing us to all those mentors. The program doesn't go anywhere without them. I would like to deviate from the script for one moment here and see if I can do this. I'm going to try to share my screen, if this will work. The host will have to let me do that. Mark, can you allow my screen? Oh, there it is. Okay. And this is a slight deviation. And voila, it's coming. There it is. This is Seattle Team 1, or Wednesday Seattle Team 1. This is Casey's team. I mean, you heard several of the scholarship winners mention Casey's name. So we had an updated slide that somehow it didn't make it into the show. And here they are. This is Wednesday Seattle Team 1. This is the first part of the team. And there is the second part of the team. So I just wanted to be sure that we didn't miss the opportunity to thank these mentors from Seattle Team 1, Wednesday Seattle Team 1. And in fact, you get your own personal spotlight now. So thank you. So I'm going to stop sharing. And I would just like to close by saying, first of all, a special thank you to Mark Kinsman at Mortensen for being our webinar host and our technical guru. And I'd like to thank, once again, all of our sponsors. So let's all do a virtual clap right now. Congratulations to everyone. It's been a fantastic year. To all the participants tonight, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next year, and drive safe. Night, night.